we won't get like a notification like, oh, they updated post. We'll just get like nothing. So unless they make a new
Ah,
post saying like, oh, they posted something, we'll get that.
interesting. Okay. For some reason, I thought that was not the case. That was the other thing. But you are probably right. Okay.
Mhm.
But that is where they are. Sorry about that. I will try to explain that better
It's
next
okay. I'm
semester
sorry
to
about that
everyone.
too.
Okay. Liam, back to your question. The Yeah, I hate that you're filling up your trunk with stuff for your portfolio. It is good to save things, one, mainly as a backup in case you lose the whole thing. So you don't have to start over from scratch. But you definitely want to save the digital files. Are you doing
Yeah, I
that
have
as well?
both.
Okay,
Yeah, I
good,
have
good.
both. It's just they told me to keep all of the physical ones for whatever reason, and it's just really obnoxious at this point. I want trunk space.
Okay. Well, I know why they said that because a lot of students, I mean, the worst thing, the thing that used to cause me just to cry almost was the students who I know had done good work for 2 years or however long it takes them to get to portfolio. They show up to portfolio with nothing. And that is a butt kicker to try to create your whole portfolio from
Yep.
nothing. Um,
It sure is. I
it
finally
is.
faced that before.
It is. Okay. So what we're going to do today in class today is I'm going to go over the project really quickly again. Um, then we're going to look at roughs, see what you got. I know Liam has some roughs. Kathy, you might not have some roughs, but that's okay. We'll see if anyone else joins us because usually Sarah joins us and Elijah sometimes. I'm looking back down with them. I might give them a quick invite, see if they are coming. Um, and then we're going to go over a few other things, just grades and the class in general, and the extra credit, and then we'll be finished. With that, so let me go over the project. So this is our last project. It's really the end of the semester. And what we're doing is there is a real college that we're doing, Mott Community College, which is in Flint, Michigan. A little bit of a tongue twister. And it's a real college. And they have a real student art show every year in April, a time frame. This year, in the past, this class has occasionally done the actual poster for the art show. But this year we are not doing that. This is a made up project, and that we are doing it for ourselves. I am not even sure they're having the art show this year. If they do, they're doing it virtually. So this is a project that we have done several times with the college for real, but we are not doing that this time. So first, one of the things that you need to do is look over Mott Community College, see what, do a little research on Flint, Michigan, do a little research on Mott Community College. It's a real place. You can look it up. And then you can see, on the website, there's no information on the student show, but you can see on the project sheet that there are old posters from this student show, actual posters done by students for this show. Some are mostly type. Some are about the area. Some are just sort of artsy. Where is it one? Some are interesting. Some have, some have some student art from the show on there. So we're doing the poster and then putting that poster on some outdoor environmental display. And so that could be a park bench. It could be a light pole banner that hangs down from the banner out from the side, or a bus stop, any type of bus stop. So we're not doing a billboard. We're doing some type of display other than a billboard. I forget what else. I had some other list of things. So anyway, the thing about the poster is on the project sheet, there is all kinds of information about the poster. Like the dates are on there, April 1st, April 30th. The reception is April 2nd on Friday. All that information has to be on the poster. I put the old title, a title called the Arts Ignite Change. And you do not have to use that theme. You can use that theme, but you don't have to. It's just suggested. You can make up your own theme for the poster. So anything that you use image-wise, you can't, it can't be a stock image. If you're going to use a photograph, you need to take the photo. If you're going to use, obviously, if you use a font, you can use font. But if you're going to do an illustration, you have to do the illustration. So you can't find someone else's illustration. You have to do it, or you take your own photo. And it's interesting, like someone was doing, in a previous iteration of this, someone did a theme that was quite environmental. Well, and they were complaining that they couldn't find the right pictures of trees. They ended up just taking one in their backyard. You can modify the photo, obviously, but you have to take it. You can't use someone else's photo. Questions so far? Kathy, any is it making a little bit more sense?
So what we're doing for this project is we're going to make like flyers or something for an event for a college. And this is supposed to be for their outdoors event. Am I correct? Just trying to reiterate for me to. Okay.
No, so the event is not outside. The event is in their museum. The event's in the Visual Arts and Design Center. You're doing a poster, and that poster will be displayed outside at a bus stop.
Okay.
And the poster.
Okay.
Yes. So the event's inside. The event's an art show. Did any of you guys see the link I sent out on an announcement that was the virtual art show at Rowan Community College? You guys see that? It was just 2 weeks ago. By the way, it was
link,
yeah. You should click on that. It was really good. Not that you might the art, you may argue whether it was good or not, although I thought most of the student entry was pretty good, although they do display obviously some drawing one drawings. I think people get better from that, but however, the format, the digital format was literally you walked into a gallery and you could walk around and look at the student work on, obviously virtual walls, but it was the virtual tour was very professional. And the work was pretty good. So let's see what else. So the deadlines are, I suggest you do some research on the community college and just student art or art competitions or art posters. And I want you to find some examples. I'm suggesting 10. Let me go back to where is this? Content.
Okay.
Yeah. Back to the poster here. I'm suggesting you research Mott College, Flint, Michigan, find 10 competition posters for art shows. Doesn't have to be for that college, from anyone. And then 10 different examples of bus stops, mainly because you're going to have to use one to put the poster on.
Okay.
The poster, yes, go ahead.
I was not
Question,
going to say anything.
Kathy?
I was just agreeing.
Okay.
I wasn't saying anything.
Okay. So the format is 11 by 17. It can be tall or landscape or portrait, either one. Some bus stops have portrait. A lot of bus stops that I have examples of I've seen examples of, they are portrait, but every once in a while something's landscape. Let's see. So we're basically trying to do an art poster and put it out in an outside display. I'm suggesting a bus stop. And all that is due by this Sunday. This is the last week of class. Everything is due this Sunday, and I'll talk about that at the end. So it's a quick project. Okay, with that, let's look at some roughs. Liam, you want to go first? Because I know you got some roughs done.
Yeah, sure.
If you just share your screen, and then we can all look at them.
Okay, yeah. All right, need to actually find where I put this. I just recently cleaned up my desktop.
That's correct. And while he's looking, Sarah and Kathy, I don't know if you have, you probably don't have any roughs, but Sarah, if you have some roughs, get yours ready and you can go next.
I have my digital rough.
Okay, we'll let Liam go first.
So one thing that I've been struggling with is when we were like placing them on the outdoor things, the
Right.
sizes aren't exactly the same as our poster size. So like some of my stuff got chopped off a little.
Right. Yes, that is one of the problems. That's one reason why I'm hoping that you, yeah, you might have to modify, but that's the reason to sort of look at the bus stop first to see if you need to change some stuff. But yeah, let's look at them if you can find them. Yeah, and actually, Liam did an outdoor display. You did a, and we'll look at them. You did a poll that you put posters on, right? Yeah, there we go. Perfect. So tell us your thoughts. What do you, there we go.
Originally my thought was there's this bowl in the corner here. I was going to smash that because when I think of art, I think of those obnoxious still lives where you have that bowl of art that you have to draw and how everybody hates that stupid bowl of art or bowl of fruit. And I was just going to smash that bowl and have the fruit around it. But then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to start out with it not smashed and see how that goes. And then if I need to smash it later, I'll go back to that. So my whole concept is the fruit bowl thing. So you got the bowl in the corner, you have some fruit, and then there's some like art supplies. And instead of just leaving it as the picture that it was in the road, I ended up using some filters on it to make it look like somebody actually drew them. Like, if I'm able to zoom in.
Oh, sure,
here.
right. Yes, they do. They look like they're, what is that called? Polarized
Yeah.
or posterized? Yeah. Okay. You know what? I like the smashed bowl of fruit idea, but this idea is also good. I mean, it's obviously things are coming out of the bowl. I got that. Okay. So
And
talk
then
about your, yeah, go ahead.
one thing I noticed was you said to use like exactly what you had in the text, and this did not say 63rd, it said 61st, so I had to change that.
Oh, it does. There's typo. 60. Oh, third. Okay, yes, I do need to change that. Okay, yes, please do. Correct typos. You know, you can go a long way without being able to spell.
Yeah.
Okay, so talk about your placement of the objects.
The objects really, it was just kind of, I placed them around with kind of a similar amount of space between each item. It wasn't exactly like, this is where I'm going to put everything like well thought out. But I took several different photographs of them in different positions, and then I looked at them on my computer, and I thought that this one was the best one that I had. I like the way I have the sketchbook up top and then the bowl in the corner because it, I don't know what it does, but it makes it look better visually.
Well, I like the sketchbook at the top, yes, and the bowl. Yep. In fact, all the objects are good. Okay.
I'm still
what about
not sure about this though, the text at the bottom.
Yeah, I mean, I think the main thing you've got to work on, so the whole concept's great. I like the concept. I think the main thing you've got to work on is the placement of the type, the text. And you have some opportunities. For example, the sketchbook at the top, and I know it's going to be a pain to take a new picture, but it would be great if you could move that a little bit more into the poster so your title, Mott Community College, 63rd Annual Student Art Show, was on the sketchbook. I don't know, just as a thought. And it could come, instead of coming straight down from the top, it could maybe come a little in from one of the sides. Oops, your screen went fuzzy or something. There we go. Also, I really would like to see, okay, so I love the scissors, the orange, the crayon, the apple, and the eraser are great, but there's no object down below that line of the apple and the eraser, and you got the banana and the pencil off to the side. It'd be great if something was sort of right next to the bowl, like it just fell out. I sort of feel like it would be great if something was on the lower half. It's like everything's up at the top except the bowl. So anyway, other than that, it'd be great to possibly get more of the sketchbook in and put one of the items, like I think the banana is a great idea. Put the banana in the bottom. Then I'm trying to think what you've got to do something. Well, I would say your whole idea is things are flying out of the bowl, right? I think you need to have the type, and you bumped it up to you went off the screen again with the poster. There we go. I wish the type would go along with the everything flying out of the bowl. You could literally draw a dot where the bowl is and have lines coming out from the bottom and have the type slanted like it is flying out of the bowl also. Okay. See what I mean? So, and I'm just making that up. But something, you have a theme, stuff fell out of the bowl, have the type, do that too. And I think the Arts Ignite Change could be much bigger. And I think the everything like info, like the very bottom thing, the phone number could be a lot smaller. I think even the the opening reception, all that stuff, that could be smaller. And less, I think that all your white type could be much smaller and less important. And have the Mott Community College 63rd Student Show and the Arts Ignite Change be a lot bigger. And then you can even say, you don't, instead of saying dates, you could say dates, show opening. You could always do something besides just say date. So I would say that's the main thing. And even, even if you can't get a new photo at all, let's say that doesn't work out, you could still change all the type to go along with your theme. Okay. Kathy, what else? What other thoughts do you have for Liam? Leave it up. Oh, Liam, the only thing that you could do, I love the bowl in the corner, but one of the interesting things about the whole photo is the shadow, like in the apple, or the shadow on everything except the bowl. And if you move the bowl in a little bit, you could have that shadow, but I do like the bowl in the bottom. I don't know. Cool shadows. Kathy, any thoughts for Liam? You're on mute.
No thoughts. I think she has a cool concept.
It's a good concept.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah, any thoughts?
I just think the look of it's really cool. I like the outlines of everything.
Yeah, the outlines are working. Okay. Okay. Liam, any questions? Anything you think you ought to change, or any other thoughts you're having?
Not really.
Okay. So when you did that polarization, and it made the gravel, and is this gravel or is this asphalt?
That's whatever the heck the road's made out of.
Whatever the road
I did this in my parking lot.
Okay, that looks really good. Okay. Okay, unshare your screen.
All right.
Sarah, you want to share your screen? Oh, well, Liam, you didn't show your thing wrapped around the pole. We'll come back to that in a minute. Sarah, you ever able to take over the screen?
Yeah, I just had to get it first.
There we go. Okay. It does take a while. And Sarah, you came on a little late. I did not mean to say you had to use the Arts Ignite change. You could, but you don't have to. I know you're already using it, which I think is fine. You did a lot of thumbnails based on that.
Yeah.
But you didn't have to. Okay.
Okay.
Tell us
Well,
what
I
you're
think I'm
thinking.
looking forward to it.
What? That's
Well,
good. Yeah, I would.
My favorite idea that I had was where I took a set of eyes and I like make them look like they turned, but it's like two versions of it, like one behind and one in front. So then I did the same thing with the title. So that kind of went on with like the change thing, like changed their perspective.
Okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
and I like to put in the yellow in all my poster examples that I showed. So I wanted to use red and yellow.
Okay. Now, did you do any other version of this one? Did you try making the eyes bigger or anything?
No, but I figured once I got some critique on it, I could just work on it and try some new things and stuff.
Sure. Well, all the stuff, the colors are working great. So I think the colors are working great, and I think actually all your text, at the bottom is working pretty good. It's not centered, which is fine. I think the eyes are working very well with the red and the yellow. I am wondering if, you might try just making them big so they're a little, I would be interested if they were so big that the outside edges of each eye was a little cropped.
Okay.
Just have them be big and
Yeah,
see if that, The eyes are working so well. The type under art, the yellow and the red under Arts Ignite's change is not working as well because you just can't read so I know what it says.
Yeah.
I was thinking you could, instead of having the yellow be behind it, you could have it be more reflected, but that's sort of messing with your theme. I sort of feel like it needs to be, the overlap needs to be greater somehow. So play around with that, like farther away so that the yellow is lower than it is.
Okay, so make it kind of like where the eyes are because they're pretty far away from each other.
Yeah, make that bigger. And maybe even it could just barely overlap so that the lower part, the baseline of the red Arts Ignite's change is just barely intersecting the top of the X height of the yellow letters. So that is a good idea. Have you a couple other things to try? So that's great. The eyeball thing is great. It would be great if you could substitute a letter in Arts Ignite's change with an eyeball, and the E in change could easily be an eyeball.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, see if that can be bigger. See how big you can get that.
Okay.
You can even put that on 2 lines. I don't know. Although I like it on 1 line. Maybe with the eyes big, this would stay the same size. Maybe the E in Ignite could be an eye. Just take that E out and put this eye in there. Your eyeball.
Yeah, I'll try that.
Yeah, either with or without the eyebrow. Maybe even without the eyebrow. Or the eye, the eye dot, and the eye. Anything. Play around with and see what you like. So I'm sort of going with the eye thing, and which is good. How can you? And the other thing is, so how can you go down into the bottom text and repeat the eyeball? Do you put the eyeball under the most important thing, opening reception, just in front, have an eyeball in front of opening reception Friday? Do you put an eyeball between? Do you put it? Yeah. Or repeat the eyeball. So you could even say, so instead of having it all, keep it all left justified, but it would say Mott Community College, 63rd, blah, blah, blah. Put a small eyeball and then start the very next thing, opening reception, and have it be all 1 paragraph divided by eyeballs. I feel like an
Oh,
eyeball
okay.
could be down there. Okay. Okay.
That's
Liam, any thoughts for Sarah?
Yeah, the bottom text that you have with all of the details for the show, I don't know what it is about like that typeface versus the eyeballs, but because with the eyeballs you have everything so rounded, it feels like that typeface almost doesn't go because it's very sharp, if that makes sense.
What about the top, the
That's
heading?
true. The edges you could.
Is that the same way or
I mean, the one on the
By
top, it's
Liam, you
almost
mean
not as
rounded the
noticeable,
end
even
of
though I'm
each
pretty
Can I
sure
stroke
make it
that's
is
all
probably
rather
the
rounded,
same
or-
than round.
typeface, but for some reason it just...
so just
Good
find a
idea.
And
more
that's what I'm
more
thinking,
rounded
is that like a
typeface for
Oh, good
rounded
thought.
the
typeface would go
information?
I
better
can't
with
remember the
the
name
eye
of an exact
design.
typeface, but there. Yeah. 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 Good idea. Great. Great.
Okay,
Okay.
sounds good.
Anything else, Liam? Good thought. Okay. Sarah, did you put this on
I think that's
anything?
it. And I apologize,
Yeah.
my internet is
Bus
being
stop?
absolute garbage this morning.
That is okay. Oh, Liam, so can you share your
No, I
poll
didn't
that you
put it on
have the
anything.
poster on,
Just
just so everyone can see that? Okay. So Sarah, you can stop sharing yours, and Liam, reshare yours and
Yeah,
show
sure, I
them the
pulled up a
poll, just
bunch of
because I
crap
thought
for
it looked
that.
pretty good. Yeah.
Alright, yeah, this should show everything. So you've already seen this one, you don't really need to see that again. That's my Photoshop thing that I did to all of it. And I have more pictures, but... Alright, so here's one of my signs. It's just kind of hanging there.
Oops, we.
And then, I have another sign. This is more
We
like
cannot
a
see it
flag
yet.
kind of thing.
But you have taken over, but we can't.
And then the one I think... Oh, it's
We
not...
can't over the. Yeah.
Okay,
No,
let me
you've
try something.
definitely taken over, but it's just not showing any. And sometimes you could hit the stop sharing button. Sometimes you have to click in the lower left and click what you're going to share, whether it's a Chrome tab or a application.
Yeah, I was trying just to show my whole screen, because then that way I could show you all the different applications that I have stuff in, but I guess I'll have to do it this way.
Right.
This should just be showing you preview with
Yeah, sometimes it won't do
the
that.
thing.
Not yet. I did see it. I could probably pull it. There it is. Okay, perfect. So I don't know what you call this. I mean, this is a poster poll, basically.
And can you only see that one, or can you see the other ones?
This is where do you know where this? I just see one. It's the black pole with the poster wrapped around it.
Okay, I have other ones up. Yeah.
Okay.
I can try and share the other ones too. So there's the round one.
Sure. Go
There's
ahead.
this flag looking kind of one.
Obviously,
I
it's
don't know
not
if you can see it or
cooperating, but
not.
that's okay.
I mean,
No.
like I said, my internet is absolute garbage this
Well, that's
morning,
okay.
so I'm not surprised.
Oh, there it is. There's the flag one. Okay. There's the one on the pole. Sort of. That's a banner, or it's really a poster on a pole. It's not a hanging piece of fabric. You got another one?
And then that should be sharing my last one, if it'll actually pull it up. Yeah.
I bet it will in a second. The internet.
Like
There it
together,
is.
you
Okay.
can kind of see the different places where it forced me to crop it because it's not the exact size.
Right. Interesting. So I'm changing some of my, especially on the bigger ones, the poll, the white type looked a little better than it did just on the poster. So anyway, you don't want to make it too small. I amend my previous comment about making that stuff too small because you want it to be big on a poster outside. Okay. Okay, unshare your screen. Do you know where that poster poll was? It looks like it's in Europe. Did you happen to see where it was actually from?
No, I'm really not sure. I just went to one of those like Photoshop mock-up places and got it.
Yep. Okay. Yep. Okay. And I did not repost that, but that is a great place. The Photoshop Mockup website, which I have posted several other content parts. I can repost it here. Is a great place to go. You can use Google Images, but sometimes they're not good enough resolution, and they come out too pixelated. Okay. Any questions you guys have now that you've done some roughs, and any other questions about the project? Okay. So just to go over the deadlines. So we're trying to have the poster done by this Wednesday. You guys have a good step on that. And we're trying to turn that in on Wednesday. And there is an assignment that I think that says deadline for final poster. And it says, oh, Enviro final poster. And I have the names sort of different. So in your grade book, you can tell which one you're looking at. So it's the final poster, and then the placement is where you put the mock-up once you've done your poster on the bus stop or the pole or the flag. Okay. And so if you're, and Kathy, I suggest doing some research and then thumbnails and a rough. And if you Kathy, on Wednesday want to come in class or just call me, you can, email me anytime and we can get together and I can look at your rough if you want. Questions on the deadlines? So we are trying to finish up the semester by this Sunday. So the rest of the semester, we are going to look at finals on Monday, and then there's going to be a survey. And as I mentioned in the last class, there is no test. It's just the end of the quarter survey. And if you'll finish that next Monday, then that will be the end of the class. And I will post on Wednesday. So noon next Wednesday is the end of the semester for this class. That's when everything's got to be turned in because that's when I'm going to calculate the grades. So if you have anything you haven't done that you want to turn in, go ahead. You have till next Wednesday. Liam, can you tell everyone just a little bit about the extra credit, the thing on last Friday, and sort of like what you told me in your email?
Yeah, sure. It was basically just a thing where we went and we had some of our pieces critiqued. John Hoffman was there, Travis Phillips, some other professors that I didn't actually know. And I actually just showed them my final for 2D design that I'm working on. It's not finished, but I wanted to get some feedback on that because I've been struggling with it. And yeah, they were pretty helpful. Like they gave a lot of good ideas talking about how my Copic markers might not work well with certain types of paper, things like that. It was just a big critique session with myself and one other student, and that was it.
Oh, okay, great. So there is one more extra credit this Friday, and I think it's a similar thing. There's no guest speaker like the one that we had a couple weeks ago. It's just a critique with other professors besides me. So you can go to that. And so, for example, Liam, I've already added your extra credit. I've recorded your extra credit, but the extra credit will not calculate into your grade until the next Wednesday. So it is not reflected in your grade, is my understanding of how a grade book is working right now. So I have to manually stick that in there at the end, which I can do. But it doesn't change your grade now for your projects, if that makes sense. So one more extra credit that people are willing to go to, the more extra credit you go to, the more extra credit you get. More is more. So yeah, late work. I would suggest that everyone look at their, actually looked at everyone's grades. I think over the weekend, Friday, I looked at everyone's grades, and Kathy, yours may have been one I caught where the grade said it was, I'm just making this up, a 90, but it still showed a 0 in the grade book. It's weird. It showed a temporary grade, and I caught that and changed that. So that's one thing you should look to see if when you open up the project you turned in and it shows a grade, but when you close it and you look at your whole grade, it's showing a 0 or something different. That's the case where I haven't updated the grades. So I would go through all your grades and make sure that they are accurate to the latest grade. I allow everyone to turn in multiple submissions. So let's say you turn in, 3 times, and I have students in this class turning in things 10 times. So I give you a grade on the 5th time. Let's say it's a 50 because you're only halfway done, and you finish it and get a 90 on it, and I don't change it to a 90. That's one thing you should bring to my attention. Send me an email or something. So definitely do that. And it's much better to do that before I calculate the grades and turn them in. I mean, obviously, if I make a mistake after I turn them in, you can still, call me and tell me, but it's much easier to fix before next Wednesday than after. And it doesn't go in your official grades, and we have to change that. Any questions at all on grades in general, even with other classes? Anything you guys have a question about grades, the end of the quarter grades and grade book and Blackboard and all that stuff? Not that I can answer them definitely, but.
I guess my only question would be, what's the other extra credit assignment going to be?
Oh, it's just if the only one is if you go to more of those Friday sessions. So there's just one more Friday session. Okay. I think it's just a critique again.
Okay.
Yeah. Great question, though. So yes, it is just the same, the extra credit is these last 3 Friday sessions with Mr. Perry and Mr. Hoffman and Mr. Phillips, and several other professors. Okay. Anything else? Okay, so I am, if you are this Wednesday, we have a studio. Kathy, it would be great if you could come on there because I haven't seen your rough, and we could look at your roughs, and then you could turn in your poster and do your bus stop. Liam and Sarah, if you guys want to show me your bus stop, and if you have any issues like with the cropping, like Liam had some questions for, I'm glad to look at those on Wednesday, if you would like. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, I will.
If you're looking at them on Wednesday, should I send you the PSD files?
You can, or you can just turn them in on Blackboard, or if you come to class, we can just look at them on your screen.
Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes Blackboard will take a PSD file. I think it will, but it likes PDFs or JPEGs better. Okay. I will see you all if you need it, and if not, on probably a pretty short class next Monday, where we just look at the finals, and I will have that class survey open for everyone to take, and we will finish up the class. Okay. See y'all either Wednesday or Monday. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.